All the world has wondered, where are we going in the future? We don't even know. Hell, WWE doesn't even know. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Down the Ramp, the Down the Ramp podcast, the better podcast of all podcasts behind my podcast, which is also my podcast, but your podcast is my podcast because I own you.
Shut up.
Ryan, I own you. Welcome
You don't
back.
own me. You can't own me.
Last time we sat down and recorded an episode of the podcast, it was TKO adds The Rock as its board of members. We'll get back to that in a minute. And
Yeah,
Netflix owns Raw. Or Raw
All
owns
those
Netflix,
things.
whatever you want. You know, I'm excited to get my LA Knight Netflix profile picture.
Yeah.
That's all I want. Look, to be honest, that is all I want.
Yeah. Make sure to check on that previous episode of Down the Ramp. Yeah.
Is that what we're doing now?
I just thought that in my head.
We're
I'm like, you
keeping
know
that.
what?
How
Why
to
do
show
I feel
that-
like that makes sense?
How to show a wrestling podcast by chanting WWE. Anyways, we are, if you're new, now it's green. Now it's red. Now it's green. I'm playing with my mic. You're wondering, a lot of you who are watching this audio on Spotify, I said watching audio. You might be watching the audio
Yes,
waves.
you did
Look,
say
you
watch
might want to watch the audio waves. Kind of fire. Look,
Watch the audio waves.
see them ramp up, then die down. It's like a roller coaster, but for your eyes.
It's like it's going down the ramp.
Yeah, and then up a hill. I don't know. For those who are listening, my mic has a little mute button on it for when it's plugged into USB, and it's red or green for what. Anyways, long story short, welcome back to the best wrestling podcast in the world, voted on by nobody.
The best wrestling podcast in our own imagination.
Yeah, in our own world where there's no other wrestling podcasts, it is us.
Exactly.
If we just don't include Insight, Chris Jericho podcast, names all the anyways,
All of them.
I know we're a wrestling podcast, but the only thing we've been talking about recently is WWE. The problem is WWE has like all the big news. So for those
And they've been going on fires right now, so oh my gosh.
For those who have been wondering why aren't we covering more AEW
or TNA or Ring of Honor or all those other things,
let's
we will get to those when news comes out.
I'm gonna be honest. Let's be honest. How many shows have The Rock on it? I'm not even a Rock fan. Ignore the hat. I'm not even a Rock fan to that degree. But all I'm saying is Hangman Page cannot compete with The Rock.
I mean, he's more of a Pebble fan, but yeah, I get that.
That's fair. I like the Pebble too. So
Pebble's a good one.
I guess we can go on about this. Psych, we're going to start with the Royal Rumble. We were actually going to record a podcast about the Royal Rumble. Then we got really busy. Mostly me. Royal Rumble.
It happened just a minute ago.
It was great until the last match.
Show.
It was great until the men's Royal Rumble.
It was a good show. They had a really good show. It started off really hot with the women's Royal Rumble match.
I'm going to say this now. That should have main evented.
Honestly, I feel like it could have. I feel like it was a good way to open up the show, though, because like it gets the crowd hyped up for what's going to happen. Seeing the big moments that happen in that match, Naomi coming out number 2 and returning. Yes.
W.
Heck yeah. Jordan Grace, TNA Impact Knockouts champion, showing up at number 5. That was awesome to see.
Yeah.
Jade Cargill, it's Jade Cargill. She showed up, dominated.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the Rumble being won by none other than Bayley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is I'm so happy Bayley won. And not because I'm a Bayley stan or I'm not even a huge Bayley fan. Like the
Bayley's
character,
good. I'll say that.
The person deserved it. Not the character really didn't deserve. The person deserved it. That was the more important thing. Who I don't even know Bayley's like the person behind Bayley's real name. Whoever it is, she worked forever for a main event spot, and she had it, then she lost it, then she had it, and now she's lost it. Now she's brought it back, and guess what? I'm about to rant for this for about 2 minutes. She's not even on the promotional photos for WrestleMania. Have we talked about that? Have anyone mentioned that? Anyone noticed that? You have
I did notice
the Royal Rumble winner not even in the promotional images for the Royal Rumble. That is the same thing as having Cody Rhodes win it and not being promoted.
I don't know. It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make sense. But then you have Bianca Belair. Keep in mind, Bianca Belair, great worker, great wrestler. Great. I don't like her character as much, but I get it. But the character doesn't really do it for me. She's being promoted more than the actual person who fought her way to the main event, who hasn't been like majorly pushed for like her entire career. I don't know. I think it's just baffling. Yeah.
But still, good on Bayley. It was a great moment. The final three was intense. The whole Liv Morgan, Jade Cargill, Bayley stuff at the end. I really enjoyed it.
It was definitely one of the things where whoever won, it was not a bad choice.
Exactly. Which is all three of them.
Really rare to see in the Royal Rumble. Because you'll have like, oh, it could work. Oh, that might not be that bad if this person wins. Oh, Santino Marella. But you
love your Santino, love you, man.
you really have a rare moment when you have three competitors, and we can get to this later, where you have three competitors who all could win, and there would always be a pop. Now, keep in mind, Twitter might blow up and start throwing, shade at each other. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
The IWC, the IWC doesn't matter. Great moment. Congratulations, Bayley. What was the next match? Logan Paul.
Just saying as well before that, just before we get into that, Liv Morgan going back-to-back runner-up performances in the Royal Rumble. Last year, runner-up. This year, runner-up.
Play off of it.
2025. Could see it. Could happen. Get the third straight runner-up, I mean.
You know what? No. Just getting eliminated first. I know it. I can see it.
Okay. Next up was the Fatal 4-Way for the Undisputed WWE.
Really? Oh, I thought it was the other way around. I watched it. I live streamed it on TikTok, and I don't even remember, bro.
Roman Reigns versus Randy Orton versus LA Knight, versus AJ Styles.
Yeah.
In a match that, I don't know, it was
boring.
It was fine.
It was boring. It was too short.
Okay, you and I have different opinions, but all right.
Too short. Way too short. That is a Fatal 4-Way, and how long did it last? 10 minutes?
I think it was 15.
15 minutes? 15. At least a half an hour match right there. That should be easily half an hour. You have four, not only amazing competitors, you have four top competitors, and you give them 15 minutes? That reminds me of, what was it, Green Day at the iHeartRadio Awards, where they're like, Billy Joel is like, you give me 15 minutes? I've hit so many platinum records. And like, you give the top title in the WWE 15 minutes? It's not worth it. Don't push the title then. And on top of that, you have Solo Sikoa throwing, thumbs everywhere. You have, which by the way, did not need to happen. It was only there just so they can say Solo stepped in to help save. There's very few times where I think that in a faction that somebody should jump in. And when it is a Fatal 4-Way match, That is one of the few times where somebody not in the faction should jump in. Like, you have somebody else come out and break up the victory. That leads to a future Mania. That is where, and we'll get back to this, The Rock should have came out for Roman.
Mm-hmm.
It was... The ending was kind of cool. The triple RKO was kind of cool. But then it was like, okay. I was watching it, and I'm like, oh, it's over. It's over? Wait, it's over? I'm like, it's over? It was boring. Let's hear your idea, though. Your ideas.
Who, mine?
Yeah, you. You're the only other one in the call.
Right, yeah. I don't know. I think it was a fine match. I don't think it was the best that Roman's done. I think he's done a lot better. Like you said, the ending did look nice. I like the little closing spot, the triple RKO thing. That was nice as well. I think some of the moments didn't need to happen. Like you said, the solo thing, I don't think really needed to happen. But I like how it wasn't the direct end of the match. I like how Solo didn't just come out, interfere, and then Roman wins right afterwards. I like how there was a little extra.
Mania 39.
But it was a fine, Mania 39. It was a fine match. I think it was okay. Not the best Roman's done, but
it was. I think it was mid. Like, it definitely was one of the worst of the night, if not. Which is saying something, because it still, in theory, was not a bad match.
Exactly.
But out of all the matches, it was the worst.
Yeah.
Which leads
then
us
we move on
into the second match of the night.
Kevin Owens versus Logan Paul, and we called it. These two, I'm telling you, these two could put on a performance.
I think Logan Paul gets so much hate in the WWE, and it makes no sense.
This man is crazy.
Because he does
so good.
The dumbest things, and it gets the loudest pops. Yep. It's one of the few celebrities that come in that work.
Like him and Bad Bunny are the two.
Yeah, maybe Floyd Mayweather. Or like Muhammad Ali. Even Muhammad Ali. He wasn't even like wrestling. He was Mike Tyson too. But Mike Tyson was there for a storyline. He wasn't there for long. Bad Bunny is here and there for a storyline here and there.
Yeah.
Logan Paul,
he's a champion right now.
Yeah. They had to have some trust in him for a champ. Not only is he getting the WWE over through his podcast, his social awareness from him, he's a PR stunt. He's a good PR stunt. He makes the money. Exactly. He makes them money. He sells Prime at everything. So Logan's making money off of it. It is such a good business deal. And coming from Logan Paul, who in high school was one of the best legit amateur wrestlers in, I think, Ohio, maybe the country at the time.
I think it was something like that, yeah.
You have him come in who is already super athletic. Super athletic. He learns the way of professional or of amateur wrestling, gymnastics. I don't even know if he was but he's a gymnast at this point, and boxing, like a real combat sport. He does all of that. He puts it into an art form, which is professional wrestling, an art sport, and he cooks every night. Every time he is one of the biggest natural heels out of everybody.
And it's gonna be so interesting to see him walk into WrestleMania as US champ.
He is going to, I don't know what he's it depends on who he's facing. I've heard a bunch of things that it's going to be LA Knight. I've heard some other things where it's not going to be LA Knight, where it's going to be someone else, and it's going to be, who knows?
There's a lot of people. Again, we got a stage where a lot of people could challenge Logan too.
I heard a thing where it could be a ladder match, like a 6-way ladder match.
If they do that,
I wouldn't.
Oh my god! If they do that,
they need to. I remember like the Mania 32 6-way ladder match for the IC title. Yeah, where it was like who was in it? Like Zack Ryder, The Miz, Stardust, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, and Luke Harper. Those were good matches. Mania 31, great match. Daniel Bryan winning. Ladder matches at Mania need to happen.
They work.
I think if you have a ladder match at only TLC and only Money in the Bank, it's like, okay. But something like that where it's anyone can take the title, why not? There's nothing other than maybe budget, but it's budget. You're fine. You will survive if you are on a budget.
Yeah, like if you throw the ladder match in there, like Logan Paul, LA Knight, Bobby Lashley, Karrion Kross, a couple others in there.
Yeah.
You got yourself a strong match.
Even for WrestleMania. I will say this now, and I have said it on Twitter. I have said it to you. I've said it to other people who I figured out watch wrestling at school. WWE is in such a good spot right now when it comes to the promotion of the company, when it comes to the athletes in the company, when it comes to the future of the company. Braun Breaker spears people in half, like legitimately breaks their back.
I mean, we'll get to some of that later on.
I will, but like you have such a future, such a bright future. You have such a bright present. You have some bright spots in the past, but there is not a multi-opportunity I don't even know how to say it. There's not a point where you have many people fighting for one title who honestly could win it.
Exactly.
You go back to even like 2013. Triple H, John Cena, Randy Orton, maybe Edge. CM Punk in there somewhere too.
Yeah.
Okay. Roman Reigns. Right now, Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, probably CM Punk when he comes back, to be honest. Seth Rollins, LA Knight, Randy Orton, AJ Styles. Who else? Like, you have so many.
Braun Breaker
coming in. And even you have a point where now it's not just the point where you are, if you are 6'5", 300 pounds of pure muscle.
You can get a shot.
Yeah. You can be the skinniest, most flippiest dude and have a chance.
Exactly.
It's such a good spot.
It's a time. And that leads us then into the main event.
Big womp womp. Big womp womp.
I think I had a different opinion from you. I thought it was good. I didn't think it was great. I think the Women's Rumble was better. But I thought it was a fine Rumble. They had its moments, like friggin' Carmelo Hayes coming out at 5. Of course. Why wouldn't he? He don't miss.
Yeah. Well, he missed. He lost.
I mean, he missed, yes. But Andrade. I completely forgot about Andrade coming back.
That was not the one from AEW who I wanted to show up. I'm going to be honest. I fell for the MJF hype.
You did.
I was super excited. I'm like, MJF is coming to W. I'm excited to hear or whatever his song is. Didn't happen.
Yeah. You fell for that one. You fell for that one hard.
I'm not going to sit here and say that it was the worst Rumble ever. 2000 or early 2010s, late 2000s was really bad. But I'm also not going to sit here and say it was the best.
No, there's been better Rumbles, but there's been a lot worse Rumbles.
Even then, even some of the 80s where everyone had a gimmick, they still had some good Rumbles. It's on, in my scale, it's on the lower end. You have not a lot. You had huge hype going into it, huge chances going into it. You had so many opportunities. You knew the obvious were going to be in the Cody Rhodes and CM Punk were the two big obvious in the Rumble. We all knew it was going. We knew it was going down to them. It wasn't wasn't not going to happen. We knew it was going to be the last two. It's a guy who just came back looking for a main event, a guy who's trying to finish his story from his father. You have a huge promo battle leading... Oh, I'm dying here. You had a huge promo battle leading up into it. You had a lot of hype around it. And you also have the lot of hype of just the Royal Rumble in general. Who's debuting? Who's coming back? Who's this? Who's that? I'm on the end where I'm okay seeing 5 out of the 30 entrants be a return. Like a one-time where it's a little novelty and they do their thing and then they get tossed. Like, they're not winning, but you want it to happen. Mm-hmm. I'm okay with seeing a DDP coming back. I'm okay with seeing, like, I don't know, like an Austin come back, like for, he's not winning, but it's like, oh, that's kind of cool. The huge pop. I honestly wanted The Rock to come back. I thought that was the time where he could have came back.
My whole thing wasn't even that. I thought when it was counting down to 30 and all that, my thing was actually Big E coming back.
Yeah, there's true. And apparently,
I was so hoping for him, but
I think he's legitimately done. I think there's no chance of him. There's always the want in the knee. I think he should come back as a manager, to be honest, like a Bobby Heenan, like untouchable manager.
Yeah,
where he can still hype up the crowd. He can still have fun. He's not. Maybe next year, if.
Yeah.
Definitely not anything past next year.
That type of injury, the type of injury that he has, there's not much coming back from it unless you're apparently Kurt Angle.
No, Perk Angle. Angle.
Angle, yes.
I saw some people on Twitter saying how it was a good Rumble. There wasn't a lot of returns. There was just kind of, they're using their roster well.
Which they were. They definitely were.
They were, except they were relying a lot on NXT. You have your guys who might win, and then you have the guys who are like, okay, they're just filler. If they're just filler...
Braun Breaker showed up. I don't know what you mean.
No, that's the exception. Braun Breaker killed JD McDonough or whatever his name is. Like he still hasn't financially recovered from that spear.
He killed him. He killed like 4 people.
It was awesome. I was sitting there. I'm like, oh, I've seen his spears, but I've never seen them like watching them live. Holy. But people are like, oh. There was a tweet I saw. It was like, a lot of wrestling fans are gonna complain if the Rumble has no returns, like legend returns, and then they're gonna complain if there are legend returns. And people are complaining about the Rock. I was complaining about the Rock a little bit, but I had ideas on how they could fix it. Anyways, but it was like, okay, I don't know. It almost didn't live up to the hype. I think that's where I'm getting to it.
Yeah, I mean, I can see where you're getting at that. It was a good match. The ending with Cody and Punk, I think, was a pretty fun little mini match inside of the Rumble.
You could
I didn't wait 10 years to lose to Dusty's kid.
That's where a lot of people were like, oh, okay, he's losing.
I mean, yeah, it definitely sounded like it, but like
to be fair,
line. Oh, that was a great line.
It was lucky that Cody won because of Punk's injury. I'm not saying it was lucky that Punk got injured. I'm saying that the circumstances that he got injured, but he didn't win was like okay. However, congratulations, Cody Rhodes, for winning the 2024
that was awesome.
Royal Rumble. Good for him. Back to back since what, 25 years ago?
Since Austin.
Yeah.
Since Austin.
25 years ago. Feels like it.
25 years
Actually,
ago.
Longer. No, maybe not. Maybe it was 99. I don't remember.
Yeah, something like
that. Which then brings us to the press conference after. I was expecting to see hammered Cody again. Just kidding. We're moving. The press conference had some drama around it.
Do you feel him, sir? Do you feel him?
Yeah, they're just like, do you understand what's going on right now? No, but of course, there's the whole controversy. We'll touch on this real quick. Whole Vince McMahon controversy and a lot of allegations thrown between him, John Laurinaitis, the WWE, Brock Lesnar. And Brock Lesnar wasn't named though. Speculation, but it was also kind of proven. With in the Rumble, apparently Braun Breaker took Brock Lesnar's
the moment that Braun Breaker had was supposed to be Brock's.
Which, if you think about it, Dominic Mysterio is supposed to eliminate Brock Lesnar.
That would have been
the heel pop he would have got. That would have been awesome. Anyways,
that would have been funny. A lot to see Brock kill him at Elimination Chamber.
Yeah. A lot of people were also saying that Brock's spot was supposed to be McAfee. I don't know who was supposed to take McAfee. Maybe that was supposed to be Braun Breaker's spot.
Maybe.
It wouldn't surprise me. Pat McAfee is goated and is hilarious.
He is hilarious.
This guy looking at Braun Breaker and Omos like,
huh? Nope, I'm good.
I love Pat McAfee on commentary. I think he's one of the most. He's the funniest guy ever. He's one of the most funniest commentators next to maybe Jerry Lawler.
Exactly.
Anyways, so Vince allegations. We here at Down the Rant Podcast. Will not speak much about the allegations because we don't want to get into any legal trouble. As well as we don't know a lot about it, and we don't want to catch these hands.
We're not going to cause any problems with that. So
we can say is whatever happens. Yeah. That's gonna be quoted with ... yeah at the end.
yeah. So we move on from that, and before we get to the main thing, I want to talk about that Cody and Seth Rollins segment.
Absolutely goated promo. Goated.
Dang. All right.
Insane promo. But
Raw has been going off with their promos as of late.
It was amazing. The promos are so good right now.
Yeah. Even the Drew McIntyre CM Punk one. I prayed for it to happen, and it did.
Yeah, amen, brethren. I think the entire AEW locker room prayed for that too.
All right, Drew. I got you, man.
No, it was nasty. Like, it was the back even before the Rumble with the Cody. Can people stop posting their shifts at my work, please, and thank you? I think even a lot of people with like the Cody Punk babyface
nuts
like promo, that was insane. Then you have
Punk and Drew, which was a pretty good promo,
which was pretty good. And then Punk took some shots with a torn tricep. It must have been torn enough. Oh, we didn't even say that. Yeah, Punk got a torn tricep by taking whatever the double underhook.
The future top heat from Drew.
He kind of just landed on his arm funny, bent tore his tricep.
And he's unfortunately going to miss WrestleMania. Rest up, CM Punk. Get well soon. We wish nothing but the best for your recovery.
But going off of that, you have that happen, and then you have Drew McIntyre attacking Punk in the tricep. It's a lot like Cody's. Like tearing a muscle,
it's torn pec.
Yeah, it's like Cody's torn pec, where there's a point where you just can't tear it anymore. So it'll be painful as all hell. Like it is unbearable pain.
Oh, of course it will.
But you can work through it, which is, I believe, what Punk had. If I'm correct, don't quote me on that.
Not sure exactly, but yeah.
But if he's getting attacked by Drew, especially in the... Of course, Drew McIntyre, being as careful as he can, doesn't want to make it worse. Professionals don't want to make it worse. That we know of, at least. I don't know. But attacking the arm of Punk out of the sling and step, like, it must be torn enough where even if he moves it the wrong way, it can't tear that much more. So, anyways, yeah, Punk, get better. See you at SummerSlam.
Look forward to it.
See you at SummerSlam. I could see him hosting Mania, so he's at least still on.
That would be good.
On the
that
thing.
Would be good.
Him and Jason Kelsey. They're in Philadelphia. Imagine the pop if they got Jason Kelsey. Philadelphia loves Jason Kelsey. Maybe Bryce Harper too. Bryce Harper. Sidney Crosby.
Bro.
No. I don't know.
Anyways, so we go from that to the Cody and Rollins promo.
Nasty. Awesome.
Nasty.
You don't want that.
Kazawa. Nasty.
You don't want that stinky belt you don't want that stinky belt. You want the one that your dad held.
You want the blue collar belt. You want the dusty belt. The workhorse belt. The Hollywood.
One of the things that popped in my mind was, do you want to finish this? Which you should have said. Do you want to finish the story or continue the story? Which would have been like, oh, okay.
That would have been
because as I've learned recently from you, because I honestly didn't know what the story was. I think I was kind of in and out of watching following the storyline.
I've been in there.
Yeah, you've been paying more attention than I have. I've kind of just watched whenever I can, all the highlights. Story goes, Dusty Rhodes never won the WWE Championship. Keep in mind, he did win the NWA WCW Championship.
The title was handed to him and then was immediately taken away from him.
Still won it. But you have that, which the WWE Championship is supposed to represent the WWE Championship, the one that was the Winged Eagle, no matter how many times it's been unified with the big gold, still WWE Championship. And the World Heavyweight Championship is supposed to be like the WCW title, the one that was brought in by, even though it was combined with the Universal title, or the WWE Championship to make the Universal title, and then made the Universal title.
Yep.
And that combined to make the Universal title. It's still following that story and that the history and lineage of the big gold title, the World Heavyweight, the WCW.
All that one.
Weird. It's like F1 where they had 2 Lotus teams one time, I think, or 2 Renault teams. I don't know.
Whatever it is, yeah.
But you have such a really good promo that got its praise.
Sure, absolutely it did.
But should have taken longer to decide what Cody wants. Which
I would have been something.
Actually, let's get your opinion before we move on to which it means, or which brings us to. What's your opinion on the promos?
I think the Cody Seth promo was fire. It was like the jabs back and forth between both of them really worked well. Seth just continuously targeting like Cody and his father and the whole workhorse belt and how Roman's belt is the Hollywood title. All that was just like it played into everything that he wants. And Seth, despite the fact that he's got this torn MCL, is still going to try to fight to Mania, and he wants Cody. He doesn't want to face just some random guy that wins the Elimination Chamber. No, he wants Cody. So I think it's a really good story that they have, and I think that it probably goes that way, if I'm being completely honest. But who knows, because that leads us into what the heck happened on SmackDown. There's some mixed reactions when it comes to that one.
Definitely some mixed reactions. I
mean, the entire SmackDown was fine, but then we got to the end of it.
Very mixed reactions. Bayley turned on Damage Control. Just want to mention that because Bayley isn't getting enough credit or not acknowledgement. Damage Control turned on Bayley, and now Bayley's a babyface against Io Shirai at Mania. There you go.
Io Shirai versus Bayley, WrestleMania. That's great.
And
that's gonna be awesome.
To the big news.
Just a side note as well, if they do this, and if if Dakota Kai is healed, I say they do a triple threat of Mania between those three.
I don't know.
I think that would be interesting. I think that would be interesting if they took the original Damage Control members, triple threat of Mania.
It would be cool, however. I don't know. I actually think that'd be kind of cool. So I guess we can move on to the big news everyone's been waiting to hear us talk about because we have so many viewers who have been asking forever.
So many.
Cody Rhodes comes out SmackDown. By the way, we're recording this the Saturday after.
Yeah,
Cody Rhodes
the day after.
Come down, SmackDown.
On the SmackDown.
On the SmackDown.
After Roman Reigns was like throwing stuff at Seth Rollins.
Yapping away, blah, blah, blah.
Doing his normal thing as he does.
Roman Reigns yapping the thing. Cody comes down, starts talking, blah, blah, blah. All of a sudden it goes, I don't even know how it started. Cody goes, well,
he was talking counsel, and he was talking to his friends and family and all that type of stuff, and how he wanted to finish the story and all that, and how he knows that Roman was about to lose to him. He knows he got Roman. He had him beat until Solo.
Which then leads him to say that I'm going to face you, but not at WrestleMania.
Which was like...
Why?
Okay, why?
Why?
You have a Royal Rumble win? Excuse me?
So, which leads to Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson with his Big Johnson coming down the ramp.
The fact that Dwayne is in the main event of WrestleMania and I'm not.
Pipe Bomb 2.0 starting next Friday night. Pipe Bomb 2.0. Dwayne comes down, shakes Punk's hand, or not Punk. You can see the similarities. Dwayne comes down, shakes Cody's hands, whispers something to him. Cody's laughing, and then the laugh goes away, and Cody dips, scrams. He gets out of there. Rock,
out of the ring.
Roman, stare down, end of the show.
Yeah.
There is so much news around it that none of it has been confirmed.
Exactly.
There is news that apparently that was the last minute changes to have Cody not fight Roman at Mania, but apparently now he's going to fight Seth, who Seth was supposed to fight CM Punk, but CM Punk can't do because he's injured.
But Seth's also injured, so you don't even know about that yet.
And you also can't have Brock Lesnar come in and face Seth because Lesnar has the allegations.
Yes.
So now you have Rock and Roman at Mania, which I'll get into in a second. Seth and Cody later. Rock and Roman should not be happening now. It should have happened a year to 3 years ago. It should have happened last year. And I say this because the timing and how everything would have worked and how the story could have been even, untold and unfolded would have made it so much more, like, it would make it so much easier to understand. It would make it so much more, it would make so much more sense. All of a sudden, the SmackDown after the Royal Rumble, which rumors of The Rock showing up at the Rumble, rumors of this, rumors of that, rumors. Guess what? And Rock doesn't show up at the Rumble.
He doesn't show up at the Rumble, but yet then he goes and shows up on the SmackDown after.
Keep in mind, there was a photo earlier that day of The Rock in a gym near where they were recording. I think
it was Birmingham. I don't remember exactly.
In Birmingham, somewhere close to the arena.
Yeah.
However, contextually, where does it make sense? And a lot of people were mad at the WWE for this. And it's not because they don't like The Rock. It's not because
The Rock is The Rock.
It's not because they don't want to see the match. It's because it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't at this point.
Cody needs to finish the story against Roman. Seth also wants to fight Cody.
Which
all
makes
of a
sense.
sudden, they have okay, now both of you, one of you wants to fight me, one of you doesn't want to fight me. So one of you knows something, the other one doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden, now you have The Rock, who I can't find the original tweet. Apparently, The Rock, from someone said something, had pushed to fight Roman at Mania instead of Cody. Don't know how true that is.
I'm not sure if that's the case.
I think it was Wrestling Observer said something like that, which, by the way, Meltzer, piss off, buddy.
Kick rocks, dude.
Keep in mind, the segment from last night, this is from WrestleOps on Twitter, and under 15 hours, this was posted an hour ago, has surpassed 300,000 dislikes, which is their most disliked. Actually, it's at 310. Most disliked WWE YouTube video.
Of all time.
It is at 2.5 million views.
Yeah.
77,000 likes, 310,000 dislikes.
And it's not because it's The Rock. It's not because of the fact that The Rock isn't there. The Rock showed up just a bit ago, millions of views because of it. It's not because that The Rock is there. It's because of the fact that we're in the wrong time.
It's wrong time, wrong place, wrong spot. Should have happened a year to 3 years ago. You have things like this for a reason. If you explained it better and you built up to it, if The Rock won the Rumble, all of a sudden, different story. If The Rock interfered with Roman, different story. If The Rock did anything within the past year other than saying something about the head of the table, different.
You got a different
story.
It makes sense.
But you have him say one thing. He shows up to his SmackDown, boots Cody Rhodes out of the ring. Now you have that match at Mania? How does that make sense?
I mean, it hasn't been confirmed yet. We don't know it just yet. Obviously, we have to wait until next week to figure this out.
Right. So,
but I was just looking at this as well. I just saw this as well. There was a little tweet that happened. I'm one of the Discord servers that I'm in. Those that Fightful Select.
Oh, you're reading the exact same one I'm reading right now.
Oh, I am. Aren't I?
Yeah, from WrestleOps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The spoke to said The Rock not only pushed to work the match against Roman Reigns, some thought he was even pushing to win it.
Here's the thing. So now you have Cody. Now you have Cody not facing Roman at Mania. By the way, this is how I think it should be laid out. Night 1, I tweeted about this. I'll actually find exactly the tweet that I tweeted about this.
You're going to find the tweet.
This was 15 hours ago, so this was right after Rock came back.
This was recent.
Hear me out. Cody versus Roman. Hear me out. This is Mania. Cody, Roman, night 1. Cody finishes the story. He wins. He wins the title. He wins everything. Night 2, Rock versus Roman, not title. Winner becomes the head of the table. So not only does the Roman have to worry about The Rock, not only does Roman have to worry about just Cody, he has to worry about both of them within 2 days, which can easily be a storyline if you make it right. You have Nick Aldis push for it. You have Adam Pearce push for it. All of a sudden now it's right. And I said as a possibility, have Seth versus Cody champion for champion at night 2. Doesn't have to be for the titles, but just a champion versus champion match.
Yeah. That is a lot of people going double duty, but it can work.
You can have this work so well in your favor, and you are still going to blow it. You are going to have even like Roman fans who say, "Oh, The Rock versus Roman's gonna win, and then somebody WrestleOps comes out and says that, or not, Fightful Select says that there's pushing to win. No. Now they're starting to go, oh, hold on. Now we're getting too far.
You're like, wait a second. We know that the Dwayne, he's on the board of directors for TKO. We know that. We talked about this in the last episode. Go check it out. But, like, we're in a weird spot where it doesn't make sense.
Here's how realistically it's going to work out. This is how I see them doing it.
Yeah.
Roman Cody in Paris at the Elimination Chamber. Cody wins.
Paris?
He went, or Australia, sorry.
It's Perth. It's Perth, Australia. Wrong place.
Look, I heard something about there being a pay-per-view in Paris.
I think that's later on.
Oh, okay. I heard about something being in Paris. Not the Kanye song. Ryan's too innocent to get the joke.
No, I didn't get the joke.
No,
Whatever. Move on.
Don't comment the joke. Comment I got it if you understood the joke. But anyways, you have Cody beating Roman at Elimination Chamber in front of not 70,000 fans. So WrestleMania numbers right there. And it's also going to be taking place at 10 in the morning?
Something like that.
So a lot of people are going to be able to watch it. They're not going to stay up late. It's a Sunday night maybe.
Yeah.
You don't have to wake up for work in the morning. You just got to wake up for a Sunday morning. If Cody win it, then it carries him to Mania to face whoever. Knight, Roman, or Randy, Styles, whoever.
I would say Randy at that point because, come on, the legacy thing makes sense.
True. Then you have Roman, who has been pinned since what? Jey Uso Money in the Bank?
Jey Uso Money in the Bank.
Lost his title in his big streak of his big long title reign. Now going up against The Rock at Mania, and The Rock goes, "You lost your head of the table, buddy. You lost your championship. You are not the head of the table anymore. You're in the kiddie table," or something like that. Where he plays off, and all of a sudden, now it's I really want to see a head of the table match. Winner is the head of the table, and they bring out a big table, and the winner gets to sit at the head of it.
You do realize it'll be, if they're gonna do that, it's gonna be tribal combat,
something like that. Sure, I don't care. It's the same thing. It's an Extreme Rules match.
It's gonna be just like SummerSlam.
But then you have, of course, Roman's gonna win that, unless you have The Rock win it and he decides to stay until next Mania, where then they build up another year-long feud,
which they did before.
And then you have a match, if Cody holds on to the title for that long, between Cody, Rock, Roman. People complain a lot about there not being enough long-term storytelling. This is the long-term storytelling. Mm-hmm. And people are still going to complain about it. But you have that. So not only can Cody finish the story for his dad, carrying his dad's legacy, he can also finish his own story of triumphing, I think that's the word, over Roman Reigns. Yeah. You have him finish the story of he beat the Samoan bloodline group. He beat the Samoan bloodline.
Yeah.
He not only did he beat one of the biggest, the top guy of this century, or of these 10 years, this decade, you also beat the top guy of the yesterdecade.
Exactly.
One of the considered one of two top wrestlers in a lot of people's minds. You have him beat them both. Guess what? He's on the highest pedestal you can put a wrestler on.
He's building the next big guy. He
is the next big thing. Then Brock Lesnar comes out and ruins it all. That's how you're gonna look it. I'm awesome. Go me.
I'm just saying though, when it comes to that, I get the sense, because they love to do the parallel between Cody and Dusty. I get the sense that if Cody does face Roman in Elimination Chamber and wins,
they're taking their way from him.
They're going to do the Dusty thing, and Priest is cashing in. They do the Dusty thing. Cody holds the title. It gets ripped out of his hands by Priest cashing in the briefcase and pinning him for the title.
I don't know.
They love to do the Dusty Rhodes comparison. They love to.
Don't know if I want Priest to cash in on Cody. I think I'd rather see. He's had too much. Well, I guess he's had too much trouble with both Seth and Cody. I think I'd rather see him cash in on Seth.
Yeah.
Objectively, the Universal, or whatever they call it now, the WWE title is on the higher pedestal than the World Heavyweight title.
Yeah.
Objective.
It always has.
Objective.
It always will.
Your opinion's your opinion. I'm saying it, my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
The World Heavyweight title is the back burner title. It is what it was back in 2009. Where it was people we think should have a championship, but we don't want to put the big title on them.
Exactly. And they do a great job with it, because they always do.
Yeah, it's not like they do a bad thing with it, but
no.
How many people have been World Heavyweight Champion? Seth?
It's just been Seth so far.
He's hurt. Have some storyline thing where Priest cashed in and then turns on the Judgment Day. Or even you keep pushing the Judgment Day more. I don't know. What do you think?
Versus Balor is still a possibility.
That'd be kind of a fire match, low-key. And then the rest of Judgment Day has to choose.
Yeah.
It's like parents getting divorced.
Yep.
Womp
like
womp.
Obviously, like JD will go with Balor. R-Truth will be R-Truth.
R-Truth will go with Priest because... And then Priest will just keep assaulting him daily.
Yep.
All right, what do you think, Ryan? Where do you think the story is heading?
See, I don't know. I know you were talking about the Cody, Rock, Roman triple threat at next year's WrestleMania. I don't know why, but my own mind is thinking that it happens this year at WrestleMania. I don't know why I think it, but for some reason, that's where I feel like this might go. To Cody, Rock, Roman at this Mania, at WrestleMania 40. It'd be interesting, and then that would leave a lot of holes in what the heck's going to happen afterwards. But you do that, and I think maybe they do that, and like Seth versus, I don't know, Drew McIntyre again, Sami Zayn, Braun Breaker if he decides to sign with Raw.
Let's go.
Something like that.
I think if you do that, you need to do it right. And doing it right is having The Rock turn on Roman. And having The Rock cost Roman. The Rock doesn't need a title.
No.
He doesn't. He wants to show his cousin what is right.
Exactly. And also, The Rock's going back to Hollywood afterwards anyway.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to be able to keep a title.
So you, as The Rock, will, like, if you need to put The Rock as the middleman, but turns against Cody. Or turns against Roman. Helps Cody.
Yeah. And
maybe Solo goes to attack, but The Rock decides nah. And he beats the hell out of Solo. Roman goes for a spear spear to Roman or spear to Cody. Cody covered 1-2. Rock breaks it up. Rock bottoms Roman right in the middle of the ring, throws Cody's arm on and leaves. Make sure the counts 3 and then leaves.
Yeah.
There's another thing I saw where I don't remember who it was from, but there's a chance at the contract signing that Cody, like it's all a ruse. And because Roman doesn't really want to fight Cody. So it's all fight me, Rock. You know, I'll fight The Rock. I'll fight my cousin. Oh, wait. The Rock goes, you didn't read the contract fully. All of a sudden, it's a special guest referee match. Cody versus Roman. Dwayne Dwayne as the special guest referee, and he screws
that
over
would make
Roman.
that would make sense based on what The Rock whispered to Cody.
Mm-hmm. It could just be fight for it. We'll do a triple threat. It could just be. Apparently, also the backstage was shocked. There was reports that the backstage was shocked when that happened, which doesn't surprise me. Yeah. Doesn't surprise me.
Most likely, it's probably just gonna be Rock versus Roman at WrestleMania, and all the things we've just said are completely and utterly wrong.
Yeah, probably. And then everyone's gonna complain about it, and then I'm gonna scroll Twitter, and my Twitter feed is gonna be why the Rock versus Roman should not have happened. Blah 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 blah. The end.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to touch on before we go?
I don't think I have anything else. Those were the big things that we really wanted to talk about. I'm just intrigued as to what happens. They've got the WrestleMania kickoff press conference happening on, I believe, February 8th.
Yeah, so next week.
Yeah, next week. So Roman and Rock are gonna have apparently a face-off for that. I don't know. I think there's gonna be a lot of interesting stuff, and I'm just waiting to see what they do.
Yeah.
Because if they can manage to turn this around on me, I'm sold.
That is true. I hope they can figure it out. I hope they put some swerves in there. Makes it good.
I mean, Triple H is good at booking these type of storylines and somehow making it seem weird, but then turn it around and make it good.
He's good at booking hate, getting eyes on it, and then it's switching.
Yeah. So he's good at that. So if he can turn this around, which I think he can, I'm sold. I'm in.
Anyways, let's hope that works. Thank you guys so much for watching, listening, subscribing, following, liking, commenting. What do you guys want to see us talk about next? We're going to start focusing on maybe less news, more topics. We'll see where it goes from that. I know a topic I definitely want to touch on for a video. Did we talk about it already? If wrestling should have video replay. Did we talk about that last time?
Yeah, we talked about it.
Damn. I forgot. Well, then we'll think of other topics. Or we'll make an entire dedicated episode to that. Anyways, anything you have to say before we go? Right.
Nothing else to say. Just be sure to watch it. Just watch this if you want to watch it. You can watch that Down the Ramp podcast. You know how we do. I'm excited for what happens next.
If you are watching on either YouTube on the Concession Stand Network YouTube channel, go check out it on Spotify. Link in the description. And if you are watching it on Spotify, check out the Concession Stand Network channel on YouTube. Link in the description. Check out our channels. Of course, as well. They'll be in the description. Why won't they be in the description? While you're at it, check out my podcast. Let's Talk Denny's podcast. Just throw a little follow by there. Anyways, yeah. And then I guess that's it. We'll see you guys next time we decide to record. And after a bunch of big news, we'll come up with a topic. We'll figure it out from there. Thank you. We still have to record like a proper outro. We have to think of an actual outro. I'm thinking like ring the bell, ding ding ding, or something like that. Yeah, that'll be fire.
Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah, we'll ring the bell. Ring the bell, ding ding ding. Yeah.
Yeah.
See you guys. Peace.